join us to send a message to the National Gallery that we're not going to let them privatise 2/3 of the staff. We're not going to let them turn it into a playground for the rich, that gallery, because that's what they want to do with their events for the corporate sponsors and the businessmen and the bankers and the oil companies. That's what their priorities are at the minute. And we're also not going to let them bully us. We're not going to let them, by sacking me, we're not going to let them silence us. Because the only reason that that gallery is open today while we're on strike is because there's a private company, CIS, working in the Sainsbury wing. That is costing, we think, at least £1 million of taxpayers' money. Think what we could do with that money if we used it in our education department. When we're not on strike, there's surplus to requirements. It's a scandal, and I have been sacked for asking how much that costs. Well, I think we should all ask how much it costs, because we've got a right to know how our money is spent. So actually, we're asking you to ask how much it costs. We're asking you to send in freedom of information requests to ask just that. So if you're not already signed up to the 38 Degrees or to our email sign up and we'll tell you exactly how to do it. And while I'm at it, if you come to the South East Region TUC meeting on Monday, we'll be discussing the next steps in the campaign, and on Friday we've got a party to celebrate 34 days on strike and all the support that you've given us. But you can see that this government is giving the green light to employers like the National Gallery. And since the election, I know of 2 other union reps who've been sacked. Michael Cook at the Department for Education, a PCS rep. Phil Turner, a National Union of Journalists rep in Rotherham. And we have got to turn the tide, because this government is coming for us. They're coming to attack us. They're coming to attack our freedom of speech and our human rights and our trade union rights. And we've got to turn the tide and say that we're not going to let them do that. And I'll tell you something. What it shows, though, is that they're scared of us. They're scared of us. So if they're scared of our protests, I'll tell you what we need. We need more protests. We need more demonstrations like today. We need to make the 20th of June absolutely massive. We'll be there on the 20th of June. We'll also be on the Pride March the following week on the 27th of June. We'll be marching with lesbians and gays support the miners and the 30th anniversary of the miners' strike. Because we can't let this government divide and rule us. And so we need solidarity. We need to say, black and white, gay and straight, we're going to fight together. And we need to use that solidarity to have some more victories. That's what we need. We need victories. So support the Barnet strikers on strike next week. Support the London Metropolitan University workers on strike next week. Support the tape workers working for Wilson James, a private company who want to come and take us over, who are protesting next week. And support the PCS members in the national museums in Wales and in Scotland who are taking strike action against the cuts. Because we need to be honest, if what they're scared of is strikes, we need more strikes, don't we? The first national strikes are next week too, since this government, the train drivers, and we need the RMT workers, and we need to support them. But if we're going to have more strikes, we've got a message from the National Gallery, which is, if we can do it, anybody can do it. Because I tell you, if you asked us 6 months ago, we'd have said the best way to strike is to have 5 or 6 2-hour strikes. If you told us we were going to do 5 or 6 weeks of strike action, we wouldn't have believed you. And to be talking about how we're going to step up that action and continue and take even more strike action from now. And I'll tell you, there's only one reason why we've been able to do that. And that is you. It's the support that we've got, the solidarity that we've got, the people who've signed our petitions, the people who've come to our picket lines, the people who've raised money for us, donated and collected. We've raised tens of thousands of pounds. And that support that we've had has kept us going. But that support also shows that there's a mood. People want to take to the streets against this government. They want to take action against this government. So we hope that your solidarity, we're going to go on fighting. Together, we can win against the National Gallery. And when we win, that'll help us turn the tide against this government too. So thank you very much. And I'd just like to say,